Okay, hi and welcome to Pumpkin's Nail Station. Today we're going to be doing some sculpting. I'm going to finish this hand off. I've done two nails already. We're going to do one white and one clear with this Burano kit that I've got because it's the only one that's got the clear in it. So we're going to use that. We're going to try the slip solution with it, and we're going to use what was in this kit. So it came with a top coat, a base coat and a primer, so we're going to use that. We're going to use the clear forms, what they provided, and the slip solution, but the brush that I'm using is just this one because it's a new one that I've opened, and I'm not going to open another brush just to do this, basically, when it's the same thing. So I've prepped the nails already. You'd spray, I'll just do it for purposes. I'm going to spray it with some alcohol. You spray them with alcohol, give them a little wipe off. I'm just using one of these tissue pads that I brought. They're really good, by the way, if you've never used them. We're going to pop some dehydrator onto these two nails. It's these two we're going to do. I'm going to use this. I know I'm going to use their primer, but I always use a primer on my nail. Always. And I'm going to compare it to the Gursian, what I've got on this hand. So I just thought I'd do something different using a different polygel, because it's an excuse to film a video. So it says in their thing to use the base coat first and then the primer. So that's what we're going to do. So we're applying the base coat. I'm removing off some of it because it is quite a runny base coat. So we're applying that to both of the nails. Just a thin layer and really scrub it in to the nail. Okay, so I'm just going to go and cure that for 30 seconds. And then after that it says to use this gel primer. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to apply the polygel, and we're going to use the slip solution just to see what I think to it, really. So we'll give it a good go, and then we'll do the polygel and we'll finish it with the Burano top coat. But I'll probably finish with the top coat after I've done the design in a second video, and I'll tell you how that goes. Okay, so now it's this. I know there's a lot of nail prep stages, but I think this will help keep the nails on. This one feels much thicker. Make sure you go all the way down to the sides, because if you've missed any of the sides, the polygel won't adhere to the nail very well and it will lift. So if your base coat's not all the way down to the edges, it's not going to have anything to stick to, because gel sticks to gel, essentially. I know we're curing this, but this will leave a sticky layer, I imagine. So I'm just going to go and cure that, and then I'm going to get the forms on off camera just because it takes me a while, and then I'll be back. Okay, so we fitted the form onto the nail, and now we're going to add the form. I don't really want to use slip solution because I find that it sticks too much, and so I've decided to use alcohol. I probably will do a separate video on the difference between alcohol and slip. So we're popping the white polygel onto the nail, and we're just going to pat around the cuticle and the side walls first, because that is just how I sculpt a nail. If you've watched my other video that I posted recently, you will see what I'm doing. So I always flatten out the side walls and the cuticle really thin, so this will prevent lifting, and when it grows out it's nice and flat. You don't end up with a ridge area. And then I pull the polygel down the nail onto the form. I do this gently, and you will only dip your brush back into the alcohol once the polygel feels like it's sticking, or the slip, whichever one that you want to use is fine. I just find you use more slip solution than alcohol, so it's a preference thing. So I'm coming down the nail here. I'm sorry I'm out of frame here. I'm going to work more on keeping myself in frame. So I think what I'm doing is I'm just cleaning up the side walls with the brush, just making sure there's no polygel on the skin, and I'm bringing the product down into a stiletto shape. Well, I'm trying to anyway. So I'm trying to shape it, but I'm finding that this white polygel is a little, it's not as stiff as the clear one is. It's a bit softer, so it's a little bit more tricky to work with, but like I say, if you're doing a white nail, then it's probably worth trying it and seeing how you get on. As you can see, I'm not finding it the easiest, but it did turn out okay. So I'm just going to let you watch this now, and I'm going to go quiet.
Okay, right, I think I'm going to cure this in a minute. So yeah, I think I'm going to go and cure that, and then I'll come back in a minute. Okay, right, so I've took the white one off. If you want to see how I file it and everything, watch the Gershon video, because that's just how I filed it. And we're just going to do the clear now. The white one was pretty soft, I found, in that I probably didn't do it as long as I wanted to either, so I did make a few mistakes there, but I think with a bit of practice I could get used to the white, and there was no uncured area underneath there. The battery died on the camera, so I basically just had to deal with it. The camera, so we're going to go back to being white polygel now.
Okay, so we're back to doing the clear. So I'm smoothing out the side walls and the cuticles, making them nice and thin. That's the first thing that I do. And then I walk it down the nail onto the form. I'll say it again, the reason you flatten out the cuticles and the side walls is because you don't really want that area to be thick. So you want more polygel in the centre of the nail where the apex is, and the tip should be nice and thin, like a credit card thickness. Make sure all the tips are level as well, so go to exactly the same line on each form. Sorry I'm out of frame here again, but I'm just bringing all the polygel down the nail, making sure you don't leave a ridge on the edge of the tip, because you'll only end up having to fill it in. So I'm sorry again, I'm still out of frame. I've got to work on this, so I apologise. But all I'm doing here probably is just shaping the tip of the nail. Trying to work out what I'm doing here. I apologise for this, guys. Yeah, I'm not really used to filming polygel nails, so it's something I'm going to have to. I'm definitely going to practice on this, and I have changed a few things on the way I film, hoping that this won't happen again. So, come on, come back into frame. So I'm saying there that the alcohol looks nice and clear still, so it doesn't cloud the alcohol, which is good. So all I'm doing here is pulling some of the polygel back up into the apex area to try and thin out the tip area a bit more and strengthen the centre of the nail, because you should have a nice like arch in the apex area, and the top of the nail should be thin, the bottom of the nail should be thin, and the apex area should have some nice strength to it. So I think again we fell out of frame, so yeah, I'm sorry about this. I will do another review on Burano in the future. Oh god, this is really bad. Yeah, so I think what I'm doing here is I'm cleaning up the side walls and everything. But anyway, you're gonna see what the tip looks like. I think I'm just gonna sit and watch for myself at the minute. Yeah, I'm just moving everything out, pulling it backwards and whatever. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stop talking now and that's it. So I'll meet you back.
Okay, right. So I think I'm just going to go and cure this now. And then I'm done with it. So I'm going to go and cure it and then I'll come back and show you the finished result. Okay, so we're just going to remove the foam and just show you what this looks like. I'm just cutting this open. Okay. So that's what that looks like. Gonna wipe it. Basically, I'm just going to go and file this how I did in this video, so you can go and watch the Gershon one if you want to see how I file it. I smooth it with this smoothing bit by Melody Susie, and this is the Scarlet E-file what I use, and then I just file these down. I'll show you this bit. So you file it underneath and underneath. And just make sure your side bits here are okay. This bit may need rounding off because this bit of my nail is really curved in comparison to the other side. So basically I'll just keep filing this until I'm happy that it matches. The other ones I think it's going to have to be shortened a bit in comparison to them. It's probably going to have to come up a bit. So I'm going to do that off camera, file it, smooth it, buff it, and then come back and show you them all. Okay, right, so I'm back. So I've just filed my nails with this E-file just here, the Melody Susie, and I use the Melody Susie drill bit just there. So I'm just going to pop this back around where it was, and I've had to move it over here. I'm just going to pop it back behind the camera for space for stuff, basically. Just everything out of the way that I don't want. So yeah, so this is the finished Burano nails. So we'll see which ones what you like. Do you like them? What do you think? I know the white one was a bit more difficult for me to get my head around, but I've not used it before. But it is a good white, and it did not have any funny curing underneath there. It was fully cured in 60 seconds. So it was fully cured. All of them is fully cured. They filed well. And yeah, they look nice, so I'm happy with it. So I'm going to decorate these soon. So yes, that's the Burano Polygel White and Clear from this kit. We'll let you know what they're like if they last until after Christmas. I actually preferred the consistency of the Gershon kit, but I don't mind it. It's £25, so it's not a bad price to pay for it. The clear was good to use, and I imagine the other polygels are good because Faye's tried the pink and that seemed to go really well. I just think the white needs a little bit more time for me to get my head around using it, because it is a totally different consistency. But in saying that, I don't mind it, it's fine. So they look nice, so that's all I'm bothered about. So that's it. So thanks for watching everybody, and have a great day.